Manhattan judge tosses hundreds of convictions tied to NYPD police officers accused of misconduct. So a bunch of police officers are criminals who have been convicted of felonies. And so we have Jason Arbini, 24 cases. He was sentenced to 5 years probation and 300 hours of community service for planting drugs on 2 people. Johnny Diaz, 129 cases, who was sentenced to 6 years in prison for helping to transplant illegal products and also accepting bribes and gifts from an undercover officer who pretended to be a dealer. Michael Arenella, 21 cases, who was sentenced to 160 hours of community service for taking money from an undercover officer and using the money to pay an informant. Michael Carsey, 26 cases, who was sentenced to 36 days of community service for lying under oath. Nicholas Minaz, 12 cases, who was sentenced to 15 and a half years in prison for stealing and selling guns from a police precinct. Richard Hall, 27 cases, who was sentenced to 5 years probation for releasing an 18-year-old woman from custody in exchange for special favors. William Eisman, 56 cases, who was sentenced to 5 years probation and 3 months in jail for giving false testimony and conducting illegal searches. Michael Fodder, 2 cases, who was sentenced to 3 months in jail for lying under oath in federal court. Oscar Sandino, 19 cases, who was sentenced to 2 years in prison and 1 year of supervised release for coerced essaying against 2 women in custody. Wow. So these officers got a slap on the wrist. The thing is that all these convictions will now be overturned. Do you understand the lawsuits you are talking about here? You're talking about massive taxpayer liability, massive lawsuits. Listen, even if I'm guilty of the crime, I'm still suing. I'm having all my convictions overturned. If they even did a traffic ticket, it has to be overturned. If they even gave a speeding ticket, jaywalking citation, any tickets, any testimony cannot be trusted, especially the cops who have been convicted of giving false testimony in federal court or to a judge. They have to all be tossed out.